Hello, everyone. Uh, First of all, if I sound a little bit different tonight, it's because I'm currently a bit sick. So I appreciate your patience with my voice. But despite that, I wasn't going to miss today's session because we have so many reasons to celebrate. First and foremost, we're celebrating this wonderful opportunity to connect with the University of Texas at San Antonio, um, and also to learn more about what they have to offer. And of course, for all the soccer fans out there, especially in Nicole, Mexico is playing with Ecuador tonight, so there's definitely an exciting atmosphere in the air. There's a lot to celebrate today, so. To get us energized and ready for this session, it's my great pleasure to introduce our special guest. Joining us today are Ranuma Islam. She serves as an associate director of the international recruitment team at the University of San Antonio. University of Texas at San Antonio, I'm sorry. And of course, we have Melissa Llano, and she serves as an international recruiter. So let's give them a round of applause. And if you can introduce yourselves and say hi to the team, Ranuma and Melissa, that would be great.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Renuma Islam, and I am the Associate Director of International Recruitment at UT San Antonio. I have been at UT San Antonio for over 12 years, and I used to also be an international student, so I understand the whole journey of international student. And I want to thank you guys for joining this session. I know your time is precious, so we really do appreciate it.
Hi everyone, my name is Melissa Llano, and I'm an international graduate recruiter here at UT San Antonio. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, we can answer them in the chat just to kind of go over it. And then at the end, we'll also take questions. También hablo español. So if you have any questions in Spanish, we'd be more than happy to also give that information to you, okay? Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Melissa and Ranuma. And well, guys, just for you to know, I had the opportunity to meet both Ranuma and Melissa this past May, and I was fortunate enough to visit the UTSA campus. And let me tell you guys, I was absolutely blown away. You honestly cannot imagine how huge the campus is until you see it in person. And you will notice that the campus is beautiful, it's vibrant, it's modern, and with amazing facilities and an atmosphere that immediately makes you want to become part of the Roadrunners family. Don't let education know, USA know about this. But I really love the campus, and thank you once again for your incredible time to be here with us. And I would also like to tell you, Ranuma and Melissa, a little bit about this amazing group of students. Um, Over the past several months, this cohort has gone through an incredible transformation. We have celebrated students being selected for prestigious scholarships such as Fulbright Garcia Robles, also the Opportunity Funds program, and many others have already completed their applications and they have started receiving offers from universities that presented just here. So, of course, my hope is that many of those future acceptance letters will come from UTSA. So, but before that happens, I would love for Ranuma and Melissa to show what UTSA is such a fantastic destination for graduate studies. And students, before we begin, please write in the chat your intended field of study or your graduate program of interest. So this will help Ranuma and Melissa to get to know you better and tailor today's presentation. So Ranuma, Melissa, the floor is completely yours.
Hi everyone. Okay, like mentioned, we are going to go ahead and go over a quick presentation. I'll try to make it pretty smooth and quick for everyone. But if you have any questions, you can go ahead and type them in the chat. Or of course, at the end, we'll also be taking questions. Okay. Is everyone able to see my screen? Okay, awesome. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start the presentation. So we are UT San Antonio. So a little bit about us. We are a pretty big campus in San Antonio, Texas. We are now part of the UT Health system as well. So we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit more about if you're interested in the healthcare field, this is the perfect place to also start. So we are the largest university in San Antonio. We do have a couple others in the area that are private, but we are the biggest, so we are very proud of that. We have the main campus, which is in our northwest. So here where it says number 1 and 2, that's where our biggest campuses are located. Then we have the downtown area. So if you're interested in areas such as like cyber, AI, computing, computer science, all of that will be in the downtown area, which is our historic area here in San Antonio. So we'll go ahead and also talk about San Antonio. If you're not familiar with us, we are the 7th largest city in the US, so we are pretty big. We have about 1.5 million people currently. We have a really big Hispanic population and Latino population in San Antonio. So we have events such as Fiesta, which is really big and it's awesome. It's really, really fun. If you ever get the chance to go, we really recommend going. It's every year. And we are one of the biggest cities in Texas, like I mentioned, and in the US, but we are also very affordable. So even though we are pretty big, we are also pretty affordable compared to other major metro cities. All right, so getting around, if you don't have a vehicle or a car, that's not a problem at all at UT San Antonio. We also provide transportation to our students at no extra cost. So if you have classes in the Northwest campus and you're trying to get to the downtown, or maybe you're just wanting to go downtown to explore, we also have the VIA, which takes students all over San Antonio. So not having a car is not an issue at all. All right, so we're going to go ahead and talk about a little bit on our academic pathway. So these are just some of the careers that we have. So UT Health is our partner sister institution. So if you are wanting to study eventually medicine, dentistry, nursing, or maybe public health, we also have those programs. You would just have to apply directly with them because they do have their own admissions process. So you would go to this link on the bottom and then you would learn more about their process and their programs as well, okay? Now, these are just some of our excellence designations. So these are some of the words that we have won as an institution. So for those of you that don't know, UT San Antonio is actually a really young institution. We were not founded very long ago, so we're very proud because we have accomplished a lot in very little time. So the Carnegie R1 designation is actually a very special designation that only 4% of the universities in the whole US get this designation, and you have to renew it every year. So it is very, very important for us to be recognized for what we're doing. All right, if you are wanting to go into cybersecurity, we have actually currently a pretty big program with Tech in Monterrey, where you do some of your school in El Tech and then you'll go do it here at UT San Antonio. So we have joint programs already. So that's really, really cool. So those are just some of the ways that we connect back with Mexico and we make those programs. So if you're wanting to go into cybersecurity, these are just some of our awards and our badges that we have earned for doing so. We also have a large scale testing facility. So if you're interested in civil engineering or environmental engineering, here they actually have real structures that you can practice on. So that way, once you go out into the real world, you are not so afraid because you've already worked on big projects on campus. So that's really, really cool. We also have student success and support. So a little bit about who are our students. A lot of them are first generation, meaning that they're the first ones in their family to go to college or university. We have a lot of military affiliated students with military backgrounds or their family is military as well. We also have a lot of international students. We currently have more than 1,000 on campus. We also have 4 libraries here on campus. We actually have the first booklist library in the whole nation. So if you're really into articles that are online or research papers, we have a huge, huge selection online as well. We also have special collections. That way, if you are looking for a specific topic, we are also able to help you. If you want to rent things out, like if you need a laptop or a scientific calculator or things of that sort, we also rent them out to our students for no extra cost. So those are just some of the really cool perks of being at UT San Antonio. Another thing is Career Center. So if you're trying to get a professional job after college, we also assist with that. So if you need someone to look at your resume or maybe help you with your interviewing tips, or if you are looking for someone to maybe give you pointers on how to interview better, those are things that we also provide, and these are completely free to our students. We also have a photo booth where you can take professional headshots for whether it be your passport, your LinkedIn, your resume, your Instagram if you want to, and they're completely free of charge to our students as well. All right, so now we have the Student Success Center. So at UT San Antonio, we don't just care about you studying here, but we actually want you to be successful. So with that, we also offer tutoring. So if you need any extra help with any of your homework, or maybe you're trying to study for a test and you have questions, we are more than happy to help. We also have the Writing Center where we can help you if you have questions on how to write an essay, or if you have a paper you need to write, we also assist with that. We also have our well-being services. If you need any counseling, any therapy, any psychology kind of crisis helpline, we also have that as well. And that's available 24/7 to our students who are maybe feeling a little homesick or just need someone to talk to as well. All right, let's go ahead and talk about our student experience. So something fun. So here we have a ton of events, like I mentioned. We have Midnight Light, we have 5K Diploma Dash. So if you like to run, we actually have a running event where we get money for scholarships. We also have Best Fest, we have Fiesta, also once a year here at UT San Antonio. So it's super duper fun. It's a really big thing so that you can meet people your age or like with your same background or maybe with the same interests as you. So it's really, really fun and just a way to also know your campus better. We also have organizations and clubs. So there is one for everyone. We have more than 400 organizations on campus. So for anything you like to do, we have it. We have even Mexicanos in UTSA, which are literally students from Mexico. And so they have like a bunch of fiestas, like during 16 de septiembre, and they get together. So it's really, really fun. You will find someone with your background. If you're studying, let's say civil engineering, there's a civil engineering club. There's all types of clubs on campus. And if there is not one that you're interested in, you can actually create your own. So we actually allow our students to create their own organization and clubs as well. So you can also start your own. All right, so we also have campus living. We offer both on campus and off campus. Now, if you're looking more to be a graduate student, usually graduate students prefer to live off campus. That's just a preference because mostly on campus students are usually or like bachelors, but you can live wherever you choose to. Now, if you choose to live off campus, provide shuttles so that way you can either walk to campus or you can get on our shuttles as well. You don't have to have a car in order to live off campus. And so on campus, most of the time you'll be sharing maybe a bathroom, a living room, a kitchen, a hallway. It just depends on the layout. If you're living off campus, a lot of the times you have a little bit more freedom. You can choose if you want to bring a pet or if you want to live with a friend or a family member or a spouse, you're able to do that off campus as well, okay? So we'll go over this at the end a little more. We also have huge dining options. We have Chick-fil-A, Einstein Burgers, Pizza Hut, Starbucks. We have Smoothie King. We also have a big grocery store. We have H-E-B like they do in Monterrey. We have H-E-B about like 15-minute walk from campus. So we have a grocery store. So you will never go hungry on campus, I promise. All right. So we also have a bunch of study breaks. So if you want to go outside and just take a walk, we also have La Cantera Mall by our campus. We have Six Flags. We have SeaWorld. We have more than 50 parks all over San Antonio. So if you like the outdoors, we also have the UNESCO Missions Church, which is a huge heritage site here in Texas. And attractions as well. All right, so this is not probably going to apply to anyone because this is undergrad and bachelor, so I'm going to go ahead and skip to the graduate. So graduate students are going to be my master's and my PhD students. So the way you would go about applying is you would go to this link and it's going to be through our own portal. Then you'll go ahead and submit what's called an unofficial transcripts and your foreign credential evaluation. So a foreign credential evaluation is when you studied somewhere else, like let's say Mexico, and you want to make your credentials evaluated to be a US credential. So you'll need an American GPA basically. So the way it works is you'll just submit the transcripts of your original institution, whether it be from your licenciatura and then your maestria maybe, and then you'll go ahead and also do the foreign credential evaluation, okay? That way it's also translated to English. Then you'll submit test scores. So sometimes you need a test score. So if you're from Mexico, you will need to submit an English proficiency be Duolingo, IELTS, TOEFL, things of that sort. If you are looking for a PhD or that type of program, then some of them might require a GRE or a GMAT. They don't all require it, but some do. Now, for our master students, no program requires a GRE or GMAT, which is nice because that's one less thing to worry about, okay? Now, you'll also go ahead and submit any documents they might ask depending on what you're applying to. It might be a resume, it might be letters of recommendation. It just depends on your program. Then, once you've completed your application, the admissions committee will review your applications. And then, once a decision has been made, then you'll go ahead and get that offer letter, okay? All right, so just kind of going into what documentations am I asked for, there is something called a statement of purpose or a purpose statement. So basically what this is most of the time, it's going to be 1 to 2 pages long about why you want to pursue this degree, maybe what career goals you have or why you're interested in this degree, any details about the current field that you're working in, if it has to do with that degree, or maybe any relevant experience if you've done research in the field and things of that sort as well, okay? So it's usually just 1 to 2 pages on why you're perfect fit for the program. And then sometimes they'll ask either for a resume or a CV. So a resume is more academic, professional, things of that sort. Usually business backgrounds will ask for a resume or like architecture, things of that sort. If you are wanting to do more of a STEM field like science, technology, engineering, math, those sometimes will ask more for a CV because they do want to see if you've ever done research or if you're interested in things of that sort. And then for your recommendation letters, some programs will ask for 1, 2, and up to 3 letters of recommendation. They usually want professional and academic letters of recommendation. And so usually try to stick with that. And then we usually recommend that if you are going to ask for a recommendation letter, that you please let your recommender know, hey, I'm applying to this program. I just want to let you know that if you could be my recommender, because they will get a link. And then with that link, they'll go ahead and recommend you to the program. So we just want to make sure that they're not surprised by the link. All right, so test scores. If you're applying to a PhD or that type of program, then you'll need either a GMAT or a GRE, depending on the program. GMAT is usually for business related programs, and GRE is usually STEM based, okay? So, but it just really depends on what the program is asking. Okay, like I mentioned, as an international student, most will need an English proficiency language test. Just keep that in mind. And then you'll need the confirmation of financial resources. This will be done once you've already admitted into the program. You'll do that with International Student Services. They'll walk you through that process. You'll also have to have your original official foreign credential evaluation, and that can be from ECE, FCSA, WES. We usually recommend FCSA just because they are a little bit more economical based than other agencies, but it's up to you which one you want to use. And then the official transcripts from your original institution. And if you're able to, we recommend that you get your immunization. So if you're able to get your meningitis shot or your TB screening, that's great. If you can't, don't worry. Once you're here in the US, we'll go ahead and help you out to get those as well. All right, so financial aid paying for college. I'm going to go ahead and skip this because that's undergraduate. So for graduate, the estimated tuition is about $28,000 a year. So that includes 2 semesters, which is your spring and your fall, and that's full time. So usually when a student is on an F1 or a J1, they are based full time. Okay, so there's usually no part time with those. So you'd be looking at about 28,000 a year. Now there is certain opportunities for financial aid like scholarships and things of that sort, but just keep in mind, if not possible, you would be looking at about 28,000 a year. We also have this thing called a scholarship hub. So it's basically like a Google, but for scholarships here at UTSA. So once you've already applied and you've gotten admitted, you can go ahead and go into the scholarship hub and then look at all the scholarships that we have. Some are depending on your program, some are depending on your background. So just go ahead and look at what we're offering because every year and every semester they do change. And so every time that you apply, you can go ahead in there and you'll find new scholarships. All right, let's go ahead and skip this because it's undergraduate. So for my master's students, usually you can work in something called an assistantship. So usually an assistantship is either a teaching assistantship or a research assistantship. So what it is basically a job on campus, and you can work up to 19 hours like a normal job. You go to school, you study, and then you work helping a professor usually, and they just give you a check and you can use that for whatever you need, whether it be rent, food, gas, anything that you need, or school, you can go ahead and apply that money there, okay? All right, fellowships are more for my PhD programs. If you are in a fellowship, you usually do have to have a graduate assistant position or a teaching assistant position. Same thing. You work and they give you a paycheck, and then you go ahead and apply it to wherever you need to as well. All right, let's talk a little bit about international student services. So once you do get admitted into UTSA, the next thing you'll want to do is get in contact with International Student Services. They are the ones that provide your I-20 and they help you with F1 visa processing. So they'll go ahead and give you all that paperwork in order to make that appointment with the visa institution, and that way you can go ahead and do your interview and hopefully get a visa and then come study here at UT San Antonio. And these are just kind of an overview. So if you are an international student applying, just keep in mind, sometimes they do want to see about $40,000 so that you can vouch for financial resource for the year. If it's in-state, let's say you were awarded a scholarship, then it would be around 28,000 for tuition. But again, once you get admitted into UT San Antonio, they'll go ahead and walk you through the exact number and all that paperwork in order to get your visa. All right, and this is just the Form I-20 issuance, same thing. Once you do get accepted, they'll go ahead and walk you through that I-20. All right, so these are just a little bit of tips on the visa interview and what we recommend. So usually what to bring, right? You want to bring your passport, passport style, birth certificates, your I-20, which will be provided by UT San Antonio, financial support, your English proficiency test, transcripts, things of that sort that basically back up the fact that you have been admitted to UT San Antonio. Possible interview questions. If you've never done a visa interview, these are just some of the things that they might ask you. They might ask you, why do you want to study in the US? What do you want to study? Why did you pick this degree? Why did you pick UT San Antonio? And if you apply to any other universities. So just keep that in mind to be prepared to answer those questions. Some of the tips that we give our students, if you're able to go ahead and practice English as often as possible, right? Either it would be with your friends, family, watch English TV, be concise, dress up, look sharp, look clean, be prepared to answer any questions that they're going to ask you. Don't panic, write down any possible answers and practice answering them with other family members or people that you feel comfortable with. The average time of a visa appointment is usually 5 minutes. Now, sometimes it does feel a little longer just because we're nervous sometimes, but it's only 5 minutes. So it's pretty short. All right, arriving to UT San Antonio. So once you've been accepted and they've issued you your visa and your I-20, then you are able to attend here 30 days prior to student classes starting basically, and that's when they'll do the whole TB and meningitis if you're not up to date with that, and they'll also do the immigration check-in, and you'll do that with International Student Services as well. All right, so getting connected. So these are just some of the things that International Student Services offers. They have workshops, advising, appointments, and frequently asked questions on their website. So if you have any questions about visa or any of that, you can also reach out to them and make an appointment, and they'd be more than happy to walk you through that process before even applying. All right, so more ways to experience our campus. So you can do actually a lot of virtual things. You can do application boot camps where they help you with applications. You can do a virtual tour where you'll see our campus virtually. We have information sessions like the one we're doing right now, and you can even request a one-on-one virtual call. So if you are interested in applying, you want more details, or maybe you're stuck when you're applying, you can always go ahead and reach out to us, and we're more than happy to help you through that process, okay? All right, on the left-hand side, that is all my information. My name is Melissa Llano, and my email is on the bottom. So if you need someone that maybe speaks Spanish, I'm more than happy to help you out. Or also my associate director of international recruitment, Renuma Islam. She also is more than happy to help you with any questions you might have on the application process, and her email is on the bottom of the page as well. Now, if you are pursuing a PhD program, for those of you interested, I would really, really recommend that you go to something called Context. So Context is a special program that is a partnership with Ciencia y Tecnología from Mexico and the UT system. So they're actually based in UT San Antonio. And a lot of our students, when you apply, mostly if it's a STEM-based PhD, and you're able to get this scholarship, what happens is they actually cover all of your tuition and education. And so whatever the school doesn't cover, they actually cover. And it's in hopes that you do a lot of research. And if you choose to come back to Mexico, you apply what you learned in the research to Mexico to just better the country in general. So if you are looking for a PhD program, I really, really highly recommend that you look into Context. and they even have a contact us, and you can send them a message, or if not, I would really, really recommend that you talk to Olivia Mogollon. She's super cool and she's super, super helpful with all those questions on how do I get into the context program, I go about that process. Also, I'm going to go ahead and share this document link. And this is just a page with all our information. So it has my emails. If you are wanting to look into our programs that we have, international student services, financial aid, on-campus housing, off-campus housing, you're able to do so as well. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this in the chat. And if any of you have any questions at the moment, I'd be more than happy to take them. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Ranuma. Well, guys, this is a perfect time for you to ask questions. So please raise your hand, and Melissa is going to be very excited to answer your questions. There you go, Carlos. Go ahead.
Hello. Oh, sorry. Can you see me okay?
Sure.
Okay. Hi, my name is Carlos. I am very interested on your PhD for finances, and I was very happy to hear about context. Could you tell me more about what kind of requirements does normally context ask for?
So that would be a question for context, because they do have very specific, since it's with the government of Mexico, they also have their own requirements that they're needing. A lot of the times they'll ask you for like a research paper to basically talk about what research you would like to pursue. So that's one of those things that the program doesn't specify, pero context does. And so
Okay.
I would recommend that you contact Miss Olivia Mogollon. I'm going to go ahead and drop her name on the chat and also the website link. That way, go ahead and contact them, let them know, hey, I'm
I,
interested in PhD in finance, and then they'll go
yeah,
ahead
I
and
put
help
the
you with that.
context as well,
Oh,
the
thank
info
you.
already. Yeah.
Gilberto?
Hi, Melissa. Thank you for the
I was
presentation.
too close.
Oh, sorry.
What? Okay. I just wanted to ask, what's the importance of the GRE exam when, well, I'm applying for a master's in science in civil engineering, and if if you know anything about what's the research experience needed.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so the cool thing about the masters at UT San Antonio is that you do not need a GRE or a GMAT for any of them. So if you're a master's, you don't need to worry about that, which is nice. UT San Antonio has actually taken off the GRE and GMAT requirement, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, when it comes to research, I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen because I want to show all of you something that is going to be really helpful. Okay, so hopefully you can see my screen. Okay, so in your case, you are wanting to pursue civil engineering, correct?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So then you'll find your civil engineering program depending on which one you want to do. So we have two types actually. We have one that is more in practice. So that's if you want to be like a civil engineering out in the field. The other one is more research-based teaching. So if you want to eventually get a PhD in civil engineering, you want to teach at like a university, things of that sort, you can also do that route. So there's actually two. Whichever you choose to do, you'll go ahead and open whatever program that you're interested in. And this is for all programs. And then you'll go ahead and scroll all the way down. So here, a really important piece is you'll see the admissions and applications requirements, and it'll walk you through everything. So you can see that they don't require GRE or GMAT, and they require your purpose statement. And that's the 1 to 2 pages of why you want this degree, if you have any background in the degree, or if you have a bachelor's in the degree, things of that sort. Okay. Once you scroll down, you'll see what's called a graduate advisor of records. So they are the ones that actually oversee this program. They're the ones that know about the research that's being done for the program. So if you're wanting to contact someone regarding what kind of research do you do, what are you focusing on right now, or I'm interested in program offer anything like that, you can go ahead and contact them because they're the ones that are in the program that know all the nitty-gritty things about the program. And you can go ahead and do this with any program at all. So like let's say, let me do another example. All right, let's say you wanted to do an accounting master's for someone if they wanted to. Same thing, you would go down, you would see the admissions requirements. They ask for only a purpose statement on top of all the other requirements. You would see the application deadlines as well. You can see funding opportunities like scholarships and career choices. So if you're kind of like, what can I do with this degree? We also do career options. Same thing, you can scroll down. Sometimes they'll have frequently asked questions, and then you'll see someone at the bottom, whether it be a senior program manager, a manager, a program coordinator, or a graduate advisor of record. They will be the best person to answer any research type question, funding, things of that sort. Does that answer your question for the most part?
Yes. But for the specific GRE question, you would say it's not such a plus when applying.
Mm-mm. No. Now, if you've taken a GRE or a GMAT and you said, I got an awesome score, I want to put it on my application, you can do so. But if you don't have it, that's not going to hurt your admissions possibilities. They basically they focus on other things like your resume, your letters of recommendation. Are they strong? Do you have a strong background in it? Was your bachelor's or your licenciatura in civil engineering? Things of that sort is what they're focusing more, not so much on the GRE, GMAT. So you don't have to worry about that at all.
I think at right now at UT San Antonio, testing, we just don't look at testing. Like at the undergrad level, we don't require SATs or ACT. Same thing at the grad level. We don't require a GRE or GMAT because we look at your application holistically, right? It's just not test scores and GPA. We look at your statement of purpose, your letter of recommendation, your resume. So we want to concentrate more on those things and not just the testing. And that's why even like before, I would say even 5 years ago, most PhD programs required a GRE or GMAT. But now, there are some, but most of the PhD programs don't even require a GRE or GMAT.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Melissa, you're mute.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you a little bit of an example here when it comes to PhD. So let's say you are interested in doing the computer science PhD. You'll go ahead and open the program. I'll scroll down. So you can see here that they do not require a GRE or GMAT, and this is actually a PhD. So they'll have a purpose statement, they want a resume, and they want your 3 letters of recommendation, but they don't ask for one. Now, if you are doing, I believe it's the cyber one. Okay, let's see. Yeah, information technology. If you're going to do this one, you scroll all the way down here, you see that they do require a GRE or GMAT. So that's what we mean. Every program is like their own little house. They all require different things. So just make sure that you look at your program and see what it is that they are asking you to do, okay? All right. Diego?
Hi, thank you for the presentation. My question was more, I saw you mention in an example how some of the programs were more focused towards research and some more towards field work. How can we identify which kind are either of them if we have a preference towards one of them?
Yeah, of course. So a lot of the times on the actual website, it'll tell you. So if you kind of read carefully, it'll tell you sometimes like here, you'll see that it says careers in higher education and research. So off the bat, they are telling you we do research. And so you'll go ahead and kind of read. A lot of they'll tell you, okay, what is it recognized for, admissions process, all that. Another thing you can do, you can go to the department website and if you open that, you can also find other things like program, research, and you can find what kind of research they're doing, labs, centers that they work with. And these are all the labs that they're working with. So you see here that there's like an AI responsibility lab, there's a cybersecurity protective lab, like all these are labs. So that's kind of how you get to the nitty gritty. Let's say you were doing, I don't know, let's say that you're doing like an education one.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do education background. Okay, so this is educational leadership. Okay, so if you scroll down on this one, a lot of the times what you'll see is that they say things like practicum. And so it's like, okay, this is not more so research, it's more in practice. So it's more educational based. It's more like you're going to actually like do what you're saying in person, hands on. Maybe they have rotations or clinicals depending on what it is that you're doing. And some of the time on the website, if it's research based, you'll see things like thesis and non-thesis. And that is how you know that it is a research program. So when it says thesis, it's telling you this program can either be research or not research. You can actually choose. And so when you choose thesis, that is going to involve you doing a research, doing a paper, presenting in front of a committee, and you will now have a research degree. If your program offers research, thesis or not thesis, and you say, you know what, I just want to do the practicum version, so then you would do the non-thesis. Does that make sense? But every program will most likely have it on their website. And if you can't find it, you can reach out to us and we will more than happy confirm that for you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that
Yeah, of course.
solves my question.
Mhm.
There's a question on the chat. It says, do the programs have industry connections to get internships during the summer, for example? Yes. So we do have student success centers for each college, and those student success centers will provide you information on internships that are provided. We also have a career center, so the career center will also provide you information about internships that are offered. And some of the course class is an internship. So that'll be part of your course, and then the faculty or as a career center or the student success centers, they will help you to provide you with information on how to get internships. And we
Mhm.
also have that $1,000 competitive scholarship. Did you talk about that, Melissa?
I know that the business college has it. Is
Okay,
it
so
a general one as
it's
well?
general. So yes.
Okay.
So at the grad level, at the master's level, they have a thing called a $1,000 competitive scholarship. Now the amount might seem really little, right? It's $1,000, but it's supposed to. It also has to say competitive, which allows international students to be eligible for in-state tuition. So which means your tuition will be in-state, which is much less if it was international. So I think international and in-state, it's about like more than triple, right? It's like about triple the amount. So if you have that, if you are eligible for that $1,000 competitive scholarship, it's a complete change on your tuition, and that is provided through the colleges. So once you've been admitted, you contact that the graduate advisor record that Melissa said showed in the program page all the way in the bottom. You contact them and let them know, hey, I've been admitted. I'm coming to UTSA. I'd like to apply for the $1,000 competitive scholarship, and then they will help you work through all the paperwork, and then hopefully you get that $1,000 competitive scholarship, and then you're eligible for in-state tuition. And that's provided for each program, and each college has that.
Thank you for the answer. I was the person who asked.
Oh, thank you, Miguel. Anyone else have any questions? And you can either put on the chat or raise your hand. We're more than happy to get to it. And I'm going to go ahead and also drop in our emails in the chat, just in case. That way, like I said, if you want to reach out to us or schedule a one-on-one, we'd be more than happy to help you out.
If you email us, we'll send you the link where you can make an appointment with either one of us.
Well, I have a question. Oh, well, Gilberto first and then me. Okay, go ahead, Gilberto.
Yeah, about the I-20 form that you commented that's needed for the F1 visa. You said that it's needed about 40,000 for I mean, how do you say, demonstrating that. But if the tuition is in state, as you recently commented, does that proof of funds gets lower, or is it the same?
No, so once you've been admitted and you have that scholarship, right? Your I-20 Office of International Student Services will change that, and it'll show that you have that scholarship. So
Okay.
it'll be less, yes.
Is that that's for scholarships, but does it also take into account if I could have like a research assistantship or something like that?
Yes. So if you get any sort of assistantship, whether it's scholarship, assistantship, that will be shown on your I-20. So I'll give you an example. Once you've been admitted, Office of International Student Services will contact you regarding your I-20, what you need to submit. But I usually tell students, be more proactive. Once you've been admitted and you know you're going to come, contact them and be like, hey, I've been admitted, I'm ready, I need my I-20 as soon as possible. Then they'll get all your information. And if it does show that you got a scholarship, they will make sure that's put on the I-20. Because once you get your visa, they would ask if you have any scholarships or anything in your I-20. And there's a portion where you have to fill that out. And if you are getting a scholarship, that'll be put in that on the I-20.
Okay, so hypothetically, if I could get like the in-state tuition and an assistantship, that amount of proof could be like much lower, right?
Yes. So yes,
Okay,
so yes, it'll like minus out. They will put the exact amount, you
okay,
know, after the scholarship and everything.
okay. Thank you very much.
No problem. In general, as international student, you have to show that you have enough money to cover one academic year. Ramiro,
Well,
did you have a
uh,
question?
yes. I would like to shift gears from a moment and ask a question that I have a lot from my business students. Um, we have like several participants who are considering pursuing an MBA in the future. So, since business programs often have a slightly different admission process than other graduate degrees, I think it will be very helpful if you could explain what admission committees are looking for and also how the application process differs from other programs.
Yeah, of course. I'd love to talk about that. So, what's really cool about our specific MBA is that we have a bunch of types of MBA. So, we have the full-time, the part-time, the accelerated, and the online. Now, keep in mind if you want to come in person on an F1 or J1, you do have to do the full-time MBA, whether it be the accelerated version or the full-time. So, the only difference between those two is the full-time MBA is a bit, you get a concentration when it comes to an MBA versus accelerated, they try to finish in as quick as 11 months. It is full time and it is in person, but it is a little bit quicker. It's a lot of information, but it's for those students who are not looking to be here that long, that just want to get a degree and maybe go back home or start working as soon as possible. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about it. So, if you choose the full time MBA, which is most F1, J1 students are looking for, with a concentration, they have all these concentrations, whether it be accounting, business analytics, economics, finance, marketing management, project management, real estate, and development. So there's a lot to choose from when it comes to this. And they also offer evening classes and in person. So if you want to maybe do a graduate teaching assistant during the day and then in the evening go to school, you can do that as well, which is really, really nice. So it's a little more flexible than a lot of our programs. When you come down to the whole admissions process. Now they'll ask you for your basic admission requirements. They do ask for a purpose statement. They ask for a resume to see if you maybe have any professional background or already a foot in the field. And then they're looking for two letters of recommendation, and they can be academic or professional. Now, the cool thing about our MBA compared to maybe other universities is our MBA is truly a holistic review. So it does not matter if you don't have a background in business. Like me, I did my MBA here in UT San Antonio and I had a biology degree. So I had two completely different backgrounds. And because I was able to prove that I'm a pretty good student, that I work really hard, I had professional experience, I was able to get admitted. So that's kind of the cool thing. Now, if you have any more questions on this, Miss Leslie Brilliant, she is awesome. She knows everything about the program. She knows who they're in contact with, what internships they have, what companies. She knows all the scholarships. She is a brain of this program. She's one of my favorite senior program managers. So if you have any questions, you can also even make a virtual appointment with her where she will literally get with you and talk about any questions that you might have, whether it be applying or am I a good fit for this program? Or this is my career goal. Is this a good route that I'm going, or should I go more master's in finance or economics or MBA? She'll go ahead and also help you through that. So I hope that answered your question, Ramiro.
Yes, yes. And I also have another question.
Mhm.
Um, can students apply to more than one graduate program at UTSA? For example, a master's in science and at the same time applying to an MBA?
Mhm.
And I mean, if so, are there any limitations or separate application requirements, or they can do the same application for both?
Yeah, so you're right. They have to fill out an application for each program because each program does different application requirements. Like some want resume, some want CV. So you do have to fill out an application for each one, and you will have to pay the application fee for each one because they are different programs. But you can apply to all programs if you want. You can get accepted into all programs, you know, and then at the end, the decision would ultimately be to you on which one you want to attend. But there is no limitations as to how many you can apply to. That's completely on you as long as you meet the requirements of each program and the application fee. We are more than happy to give you that opportunity to apply to anything that you want in order to maybe weigh your options.
Thanks a lot. Guys, if you have more questions, please raise your hand. Also, you can leave the questions on the chat. That's also valid. So we're gonna give you like 1 more minute. Okay, I believe that we don't have more questions, but well, guys, you have the contact info. Oh, well, okay, Dulce says that it was all very clear. Yes, it was. But well, Ranuma, Melissa, thank you so much for your presentation. Guys, you have the contact information for one of our top recruiters at UTSA. We really love you to have another session with you, but it's gonna be for undergrad. So I will let you
Okay.
know. I will let you know.
We're more than willing.
Also, Ana Lucia is here. I don't know if you remember her, but she's
Yes.
on the
Yes.
call. Also, Gilberto says that que gane México. México is gonna win.
Sí, ya se quieren ir todos para ver el partido.
But well, thank you so much for your time, and I will be in touch with you, Melissa and Ranuma. I will send contact information for all the students that attended to the session, so you can stay in contact with them. So
Oh, perfect.
Perfect.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it,
Thank
guys.
y'all, everyone. Y'all have a good rest of your evening.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
bueno, chicos, quédense en la llamada. Bueno, perdón, no se queden en la llamada. Váyanse a ver el partido, vamos a ganar y que tengan lindo día. Ya luego platicaremos de algunos detalles. Dulce, te voy a contestar de tu mensaje, ¿sí? Porque tengo unas cosas de Opportunity Funds que platicar contigo. Entonces, luego platicamos de tu perfil, ¿va?
Gracias. Ahí.
Bueno, nos vemos. Cuídense mucho.
Gracias, buen día.
Adiós.
Gracias,
Adiós.
bye.
Ana Lu, vete a ver el partido. Ahorita platicamos.
You're still recording, but I have to stay until like 15 more minutes.